Hello everyone, it is I, Torito. It has been quite a bit of some time since you guys have heard from me. It has been over a year. And I bet all of you guys may have wondered where I went, or may not even cared of where I went. But I am back after some time. Some of it I've been wasting. Some of it I have actually been doing things like drawing and writing and such, like writing stories and making characters and other things. Though I haven't had any progress on the story bit, haven't for months, but pretty much I am back to recording videos of games, and for one of the first games I'm going to play, and it may actually be one of the last of this year, because I'm making videos so late in the year, it's like November. But I may come back to playing video games and making videos for you guys. And I'm going to start off with Rimworld. It is a game to where you have to start your own colony, to where you must rough it out. You must rough it out in the environment. You must go and basically manage your own group of people who happen to crash land on the planet. A planet called a Rimworld. A planet to which there's all sorts of hostile life, and its unforgiving environment makes it hard for the colonists who crash land there to survive. And pretty much that is a summary of what this game is about. It's about you controlling your own group of people, trying to make them survive the wilderness of this planet to which they happen to crash on, and see if they survive or not. And there's many things that conflict with that. Like, there's many factors, and what I'm going to add to those factors is mods. Though they're not negative mods, I'm adding 4 to this video. I'll list them down below in the description after this video has been posted. But I'm gonna start off our colony. Let's cut to the chase. Now what you see before you are the scenarios. These are bases for a story to be created. These are bases. These are like templates. I think that's the right word. Templates. To which you could use to make your own story. To make your own adventure. Your own... Can't think of anything else to say along with that. But very much, I'll just cut to the chase. What you see above here are like the 3 default scenarios, and what you see below here are scenarios I've created, my own stories to which you could play, like from downloading it from the workshop on Steam. One starts off with a peaceful, nature-loving Hamak tribe. Like, you get to play as them. You get to play as the remnants of it, though. Well, not remnants, but a small group of one of their great members, and these members are supposed to save the world, stop the world from being destroyed, but ultimately it goes down them having to leave the planet, which is the only way that they can actually leave. And they may have to abandon their tribe in the end. And there follows a group of prisoners who have managed to escape from their ship, which was heading to an intergalactic asylum, after they have caused so much trouble in previous prisons. And after they broke loose from their cells on the ship, they attacked the ship's crew, causing it to spiral in towards the planet, a Rimworld. On Earth follows a group of boom rat salesmen who have made a business off of breeding rats that explode. They will explode upon death, which actually makes them very hard to deal with, but their meat is so delicious. and because their meat is so delicious, these salesmen have profited off of them, butchering them for their meat, so it can be a hard task because they explode on death. Which means that when you go and kill them, you must stay far away from them, or else they'll blow off your arms. But very much, it seems like some people didn't take kindness to these guys' businesses, as there was like a few factors against them. One, their personal bodyguards were bribed to betray them. Two, there was a merc band hired to shoot them down, after their bodyguards have abandoned them, causing them to crash land onto a Rimworld. The Nether follows. This one actually has a more in-depth story at the beginning. It doesn't really contribute much to the actual gameplay, but I just wrote like paragraphs of text talking about the events of what happened, and then it'll go into like a story-like thing, and then it'll lead up to the events of your gameplay. But the events of this scenario are based off of a game I've actually enjoyed when, like, it's like a classic game I played. It's a game called Xenogears, and I bet some may actually catch that some of my videos were actually named after like some quotes from that game. So I don't think many of you would know about Xenogears and its quotes. But I liked that game, and so I loved it so much I actually made an entire scenario based off of it. So I don't know if this is all entirely accurate, but it's actually a scenario I like. Don't think a lot of people will play it. Not a lot of people played it in the first place, but yeah. But I planned on basically playing this for you guys. I planned on playing the Psychopaths from space, because I think they would be the most interesting of the four. Unless you guys don't agree with that and you think you want to see these scenarios instead. But I'm going to choose Psychopaths for now, and see how the group that starts out with it will survive. Here's the storytellers who will tell the story for you. Each one has their own flavor, each one has their own events, and each one has their own style of how to torture you. This one is the classic. She'll tell the story of how normally stories are usually started off and how they end. Here is the most chillax. Flo chillax. She is the most tame storyteller. She'll give you a nice, happy story. A story that just has a bunch of miracles and rainbows and puppy dogs and such. All the good stuff. And then there's Randy Random. He's the most chaotic of the storytellers. He'll give you quite a tale that you will not be able to keep track of, nor even have any sense to. Like, you'll basically be like, what is this story about? Like, because he's very hoppy with his words, he'll go and break rules at times and make some strange things happen in the story. Like, let me take for example. Like, somehow, one day, there was like a group of bandits that happened to appear out of nowhere. There was like 3 of them, and all 3 of them had rocket launchers. Not only that, but they're equipped with power armor, and they march up to your group and cause a great fire. And that fire eventually causes one of your generators to explode, causing to claim like a part of your base, ultimately killing 3 of your people, and such like that. Like that kind of thing, and at the same time, you're actually suffering a drought. You're suffering a drought during that story. But pretty much, that is like a way to sum up. But he sometimes could give you miracles. He's not incredibly negative, because he sometimes give you some happy things. But I'd rather go with the stereotypical storyteller. She tells very good stories, as is. Like, she'll give you like a good story off the bat. She's like the normal mode for the game. But there are no difficulties. And as you can see, here's like the easiest, and here's the hardest. Extreme is a very hard one. It is unmerciful. So, I don't know which one you want me to play, but I'm gonna possibly play for rough, as much as I want to go for the easiest one because I'm a coward. But, I mean, I really want to go for the easiest. So, but it will actually be quite boring for you guys. I think you guys would be bored to death if I were to play the easier ones. Because you rarely have things happen, and plus I'm playing as a group of psychopaths, so they actually may deserve the punishment. I mean, they were supposed to go to asylum after going to a few prisons that they happened to destroy. Yep. And pretty much their scenario you already know of. But pretty much I'm gonna play on a planet, and as you guys saw I put in the seed. It's the name of one of my characters, a character that many people who are subscribed to me may already know of. It's like a character I played as in Software Inc., if I remember right. But pretty much this is what his world looks like. It actually looks rather nice. There's a desert in the middle, along with a tundra apparently bordering it, which is rather bizarre. And here's a boreal forest right here. And here's an extreme desert. But I'd say these bandits, or these psychopaths, will happen to fall somewhere around here. They'll fall into some desert. And this desert will have, well, it won't be the most unmerciful desert. So honestly, the events may actually get quite intense, but they're not gonna have the worst of weather. They're gonna have a quite cool desert, even though maybe I should be a bit harsher on them. Let's see. The thing with the desert, though, are rather infertile, which means it's going to be very hard for the people to grow food, which can be a factor for some groups, but there are some that can manage to survive in a desert, and even an extreme desert at that. And there's arid lands over here, which I actually have not really tried before. I think they're a lot like the desert, but a bit different. I think they're also a bit more fertile than a desert. But I'd rather be unmerciful and give them a desert. Even if it may have a very nice temperature, it may have a good daytime, but it may actually have, like, the problem with the desert is just they won't have that much fertile land, so even if the temperatures may be in their favor, doesn't mean that the land will be. But I'm gonna start off in spring to give them a chance, even though they may not entirely deserve it. But I'll select that site. And here's the 4 candidates at the current time. Apparently one of them has an addiction, which is one of the recent updates, if I remember right. Like, there's actually, you can form your own drug trade, basically. You could actually make your colony make drugs. Drugs that can actually give them a bit of a boost, but it can actually become quite bad for them. Like, if they get addicted, they happen to suffer from that addiction over time, and which requires you to give them a constant dose of that drug, which can be quite difficult to handle. I mean, because they could eventually die of the addiction if they don't get their dose. But with our first person here, Michael, nicknamed Chicken, it may actually hint at what his personality is like. He was a sickly child, And he was also a charity worker at one point, which means he wasn't entirely bad. And all psychopaths are bad. Like, he's incapable of being violent, which means he's more peaceful than most, and he actually has a good social skill, but he's incapable of fighting. He's very neurotic and has an annoying voice. Chicken's voice has a particularly grating, nasal quality to it. He tends to talk in barked, gambled phases. This predisposes others to dislike him. And then there's chemical fascination, which means he's more prone to getting addicted to stuff like alcohol and drugs, which can be a bit of a problem. He also has a bit of an injury on his torso, but it's nothing so major. It's actually quite tame. And I'll also keep him as that, because he has actually pretty good doctoring skills and social skills and research, which I'll keep. Here's Nathaniel. He is a bookworm and explorer. He's also a tattletailer, a nudist, and annoying, like the first guy. So maybe an annoying group will not be all that positive, even though he has good stats. He has good growing stats. I'll change him up a bit. I got a new boy who has an old gunshot wound, apparently. He's also a privileged prodigy, which means he was possibly very smart when he was a child. Holy crap. That is actually a very good social skill in animals. He also has a good passion for medicine and research, and artistic skills. But he sucks at growing. Here is actually better than chicken. I mean, because of those skills, he's better than chicken in some ways, but at the same time not. A very hard choice. Oh, sadly I'll scrap him, because I need some people who are balanced. Don't want everyone to focus on the same area. This person's a good gardener. She is a green thumb, a psychopath, and has a chemical fascination, but very, very old. Well, not very. Well, she is old. She's 78 years old. And I hate to be rude, but that's the truth. Apparently, our son was Keith Brennant, who is this guy. Oh, he happens to be a good melee fighter. But sadly I'll have to swap her out because I want a more youthful person. And I got an artist with creepy breathing, psychopath, very neurotic. I'll randomize it a bit. You can see all the nice outfits that they are all wearing. I'm just gonna do it like in a way to where let's see who we got. Okay, this person will be final. Her name is Kirai, or I could just call her Jude, which is much easier. She's a psychopath and has chemical fascination. She's very good with a gun. She actually has a nice outfit that reminds me of Resident Evil. I mean, it reminds me of, like, an outfit that some of the Resident Evil characters wear. Honestly, it's like she's wearing a beanie and what looks like... I don't know what that is, what kind of shirt that is. But she is social and shooting. She was a child spy, and she was also a civil servant, which means that she filled out papers You'd think with that outfit she would be more of a police officer or something. Especially with those shooting skills. She'd be good. Well, she's good at crafting and mining as well. Which I actually need. Now, let's see who Beagle is. Oh yeah, he's the guy with the addiction. Go juice addiction. He's an optimist and he's a psychopath. He has good shooting skills, melee, social, and yet... I don't want to have 3 good social advisors. So sadly I may have to turn you down, child. Charles Darwin. His name is Charles Beagle Darwin. Well, he must be related to Charles Darwin. At least, no, that's not Charles. I think that's Charlie. Charlie Darwin. He may be related to Charles Darwin in some way. Yeah, he has a bad addiction on him. Sorry, Charles Darwin or Charlie Darwin. I cannot accept you. No, I'm replaced with Daniel Hardivik. He's a cannibal, psychopath, and a masochist. Huh, what an interesting trade. For Charlie Darwin, he is good with shooting, animals, medicine, which it would actually be good to have another doctor. He's also good at cooking, which may be his strongest trait, since he's the best cook so far. I don't know about this guy, but he's also good at crafting. A bit good at mining, but not a passion like Jude. I need a miner. Not only that, but I also need a grower. Very hard to trade. I mean, he has pretty good traits. I mean, oddly enough, I like these traits. Especially for him to be a cannibal. Well, maybe that's not really positive, but... Okay, I'm gonna trade you off for... someone that actually is a lot worse than him. Well, he's incredibly good at fighting. Good at gun and melee, but... it's not everything else. Like, she's not a good... I mean, she is a bit good at research, which... Chicken actually covers. Well, actually it's not she, it's a he. And he was once a sheriff. But sadly, Eddie, I'll have to trade you off. For... some guy named Naval. What? Yeah. What? I think I said that right. He's 18 years old. God, he's extremely young. Apparently he went for 111 years. Maybe frozen. He's a trigger-happy psychopath, very neurotic. He has very good growing, good with animals, good with medicine. He has a lot of good stuff. May keep him. Now let's see what you bargained for. He's good at... this guy is good for construction. Which I think none of the previous people actually have. Nope. No one else has construction. Which is a bit of a problem, but... I prefer to have this guy as the construction worker. He's also good at melee. He's also good at growing. Apparently he's good at all the things that a lot of these people are not good at. I'll randomize him, sadly. I want to keep him. No, I got Emma. Who is, psychically sensitive, a psychopath, and chemical fascination. Let's see, she's good at construction, she has a high passion for growing, and a good miner, and artistic. She is hired. And she has gone through 1,279 years. God, she must have came from a very different place then. Well, yet it is fun looking to all these interesting characters. And you're bound to see them. I'll have to say you'll see them in the next video. Like, for this video, I'm just gonna go and show you like how I create this future colony. And after the screen, I'll end the video. But I hope you have enjoyed what you have seen so far, and I bet you look forward to what I offer in the next video, which will actually be the actual gameplay. And I look forward to making more videos for you guys. And I can't wait to make a story for you to watch unfold with these 4 interesting psychopaths. Well, 3 of them are psychopaths. Chicken is not typically a psychopath, but he is very neurotic and has chemical fascination. But he is not typically a psychopath. I mean, he was once a charity worker and he refuses violence. So he's a good man, I think. Yeah, he's a good man. Well, I actually liked making this video for you guys. And I hope you'll have a good day. Have a good week and so on and so on. See you next time. Goodbye.